Welcome everybody. Let's take a look at the stock market. These are the S&P 500 futures, December contracts. We're looking at the weekly chart. We'll look at the daily. We'll look at the trade of the day. Now, as I've been mentioning lately, I want to mention here as well for the members on the Discord server for the streaming charts. Make sure you keep an eye on the hourly chart. I move this, the hourly cycles are kind of in transition there a little bit. So I'm keeping track of that. I think I got them in a good spot, but you definitely want to be taking a look at the hourly chart as well as the other charts, the 5-minute, 15-minute chart as well, of course. Okay, so I wanted to tell you that first. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly chart here. Now, here's this week's candlestick. Today is Thursday. Let's see, what is the date? I think it's the 23rd. Let me check my phone. It's 26th, sorry. The 26th, Thursday, October 26th, okay, 2023. So we got one more day on this candlestick to go right here. Now, I said yesterday, if we get significantly below this 50-week moving average, this is 4208. Well, look at this, guys. We're not quite down to this 4112. It's trying. Okay, the low for this week is 41.46. Okay, so it may still get there, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait to see what tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow's Friday. I have to wait to see how this candlestick finishes out. There could be a little more downside remaining in this cycle low right here. Let's take a look at what is the SMI doing. So the SMI is at -60. See, it's retraced a little bit. It's like pulled back up. Yesterday, I think this was like 65 or 63. If we look over here, way back here, just so those want to know what I'm looking at this number right here. Way back here got down to 74, -73, 74. This one got down to -62. And right now we are at -60. So, it's within the realm of kind of reaching the bottom of the SMI, but I want you to notice something over here. You see how on this particular low point on the SMI, -74, it lined up with the candlestick, the lowest candlestick, right, that bottom wick. So that part, they were in synchronicity, if you will. The candlestick's at the lowest point right along with the indicator. But that's not always the case. Look over here. You've got over here it was -62. Okay. And that was part of this little cycle right here. But the green cycle still hadn't played out, this part of the cycle. And it bounced up and came down again, even lower. And you can see the SMI was rising. Okay. Well, that could happen here. Because see how close this other cycle is? Now it's at the end of November, which is going to be about 5 weeks from now, not even 5 weeks, but a little over a month from now. So that could happen where we get this like a week bounce, maybe 2-week bounce, and that's it. And she bottoms and bango, drops again one more time. Okay, that is possible. So this just feels like this is unfinished. All this just feels unfinished to me. So we might get a little bounce next week, the week after. I don't think, I think there's a possibility we're going to get some kind of action just like this area right here. A little bouncy bounce and then another drop. Okay, so I'm paying close attention to that. Okay, let's look at the daily. Okay, so here we are on the daily chart. And what I want you to pay attention to is look at this universe starting to make its way up. Now, if I go to yesterday, it was 379.6. I'm looking down here, right down here. Okay, keep an eye on that. 379.6. What is it today? 390. So that's a pretty good jump. Okay, that is not huge, but it's enough to catch our attention, okay? I know how this data works. And that's the beginnings of something to pay attention to. So what do I think is going to happen? I think we're going to see a price increase. I think it's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to start to see this. And the hints were coming in. You see how it was coming up like this over the last couple of days. It kind of bottomed out here, but the market still went down. It's forecasting what's going to happen, man. Okay, if I'm wrong, well, then I'll have to eat crow later, right? But for right now, I think we're going to begin to see a little bouncy bounce. We're going to get some action going on here, okay? So that is my forecast right there, that this is going to run out of steam. Might do a little chucky chuck sideways for a little bit, but eventually it's going to make its way out of here, okay? That's what's coming. All right, you can see the next cycle low, November 15th, and there's one way out there on December 10th. Okay, I think there's another one here. It's the 12th. And these out here are probably the 29th. What is this one? It's probably going to line up with... Oh, that's all the way in January. Okay. That one's the 12th. I think this one's the 10th. Yeah. So this one out here, November 29th on the weekly candlestick, kind of lines up with this green one over here. So that's a ways off still, a month. It's a good month away. So we'll pay attention to this. I think that's when we could potentially see another drop in price. But this thing could take off and get a smoke in here for a little while before it pulls back down. All right. Okay, let's look at the trade of the day. All right, this time we're on the 15-minute chart. Now the yesterday, well, I should say today, session ran from that line all the way over to here. Okay. Now check it out. This was this morning. There was a couple ways you could do this. Two different opportunities today. Okay, there was this one that happened at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 8 o'clock. Pretty simple. Both these trades I'm going to show you are like so simple to trade. This one happened at 8 o'clock this morning right here. This also went over to this indicator when it comes up like this. This is a streaming chart, 15-minute streaming chart that the members get. When this indicator happened at 8 o'clock this morning, also this got sent over to the Discord server as an alert. Okay, so they get alerted. Then they can look at their own charts, or they can look at the streaming chart that I provide, like this one that's in front of us. Well, guess what, man? As soon as this thing rolls over right here, you can see it roll over. Okay, and a little while later, about an hour later, the MACD does the same thing. Okay, but this is really, telling us that there's a potential for a trade here. And sure enough, well, bam. Just right there alone was probably about 12 points, 13 points in here. There's a total of 20 going on here. Maybe about 20. A little more than 20. Yeah, you're probably going to catch 14, 15, 16 of this max kind of in this area, which you're going to catch. Even if you catch 12 or 13 points out of this run, that's really nice. Because that's your first trade. Now the second trade is super easy. You can see this thing just runs out of gas, right? It's giving it up, it's giving it up. And by the way, you can re-enter this trade right here once you see the MACD rollover right here. Okay, so you caught this little bit right here for, let's just call it 12 points. Okay, and then the MACD rolls over right here. See it roll over, officially roll over, crosses over right here? Yeah, it's right up in this area. So now you're catching the rest of this. And again, that was about another 20 points. Again, you might catch, actually that was more than that. Sorry, that was 10, 20, 30 points in this area because it happened right about here. So it's 10, 20, 30 points. I like to be realistic. Maybe I catch 24 of that, 25, right? That's huge money. Maybe 12 here, 20 to 25 here. Oh my gosh, what a day. Perfect. Perfect. That's just from this one alert. You're catching this, waiting, be patient. You might have to give a little bit back here as it does a little bounce, right? That's why I say you don't always catch all of it. You give a little bit back, you get out of the position, you take your profits, you chill. It does its little curly Q, crosses over, you re-enter, you grab the rest of the profit. Okay, and then on this next trade, well, here it is. And this doesn't always happen, but this gave us an alert. Well, what are you going to do? You're just going to wait for it to finish and bottom, crosses over right here, bam, you're back in. You're back in for another trade. So I see one big trade here, or a trade with a continuation, or just two big trades. But you either got 2 or 3 trades here for today. This was such an easy day to trade. A lot of days you get this choppy, chop, 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 a little spike, chop, 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 chop. Got just crazy chop. Today you didn't get that. You got this beautiful V going on. I mean, these are the kind of days you want all the time. You want to be making this is the kind of days you want. You make a lot of bank doing this. And there is the 2 trades of the day right there, just right smack dab in the middle of the chart during the intraday session. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy, really nice. Okay, no, I know some of you are asking, how do I get that GITIS Plus indicator? How do I get the streaming charts? How do I this? How do I get the cycles that you're talking about on the 1 hour chart? What the heck is that universe indicator, right? You want to know all that stuff? I'll tell you what, here it is right here, $7.99 a month. Oh, you want to get it for free? Well, folks, that's not how business run. It's going to be honest. $7.99 is amazingly cheap. I've had members in the last probably 3 months, I'm telling you the truth, they tell me probably at least several times a week they're making $100 to $300 a day. Now, I'm not saying every member is doing that, okay, but they're easily covering their $7.99 a month, right? They pay for the membership for the rest of their life. They don't even think about it, right? But they're doing mature trading. They're not doing all in crazy stuff. So what in my opinion, my honest opinion, come into the service for the $7.99 a month. I would do like 3 months, okay? And maybe the first month, don't even trade at all. Yeah, I know it's $8, but so what? Don't trade at all. Just watch the videos, look at the streaming charts, learn and understand cycle analysis. Okay, you have to do some homework. Take advantage of the hourly chart, the 15-minute and the 5-minute streaming charts. Take advantage of the cycle lows in the cycles. Take advantage of the universe indicator that you see me using, right? That's going to take some time. You're not going to learn that in a day or a week. You just take your time and slowly get used to how to make the service work for you. Then I would say after doing that for just chilling for a few weeks and learning how it all works, maybe just take a small position. You know, I trade a lot of futures. I have a lot of my members trade futures, but if you want to trade options, you can do that too. Okay? You trade the futures and options against the S&P 500, and I honestly believe if you're patient, you're going to more than make enough to cover the membership, okay? So the link is in the description below this video. Just make sure you read it very carefully so you don't have any problems joining. It's going to bring you over to this GITIS server, okay? And once you get here, you're going to click on Server Shop, and that's going to give you this page right here, and then you go through the process of subscribing for $7.99 a month. So I can just hear people ask me, well, what do you get for $7.99 a month, GITIS? Well, the GITIS Plus indicator that's on the streaming charts, that gets sent as an alert to this channel, the S&P 500 alerts channel right here. So if you're busy during the day, you can just right-click on this channel and set notifications. You'll get alerted. If you want to make the trade, you can. You can look at my streaming charts. You can look at your own brokerage charts, whatever you got for a broker. Okay, but at least you get alerted. Okay, a lot of my members watch the streaming charts because there's other things on the streaming charts that they really like using. Okay, so you can do that too. There's alerts that come in for gold. Now this is streaming charts are included in this alert channel. Okay, they kind of go hand in hand. For these, there's not streams going for these other ones, but they still get alerted. So you get alerts on gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and then occasionally we'll get some alerts to go into the daily only. That would be more like swing trades. Okay, at the end of each day, in addition to everything I've already talked about, the same logic that the GITIS Plus indicator that we saw on the trade of the day, that logic, I use that same logic to go get symbols for stocks that are optionable and for futures. So in this channel, you basically get files with symbols in it. Now I trade a lot of the futures, but if you want to trade options, you can do that too. This is where you're going to find them inside this channel, okay? When you join, make sure if you want to get the nightly email, because I send out an email every night with the S&P 500 chart attached to the email, and I give my opinion, usually a couple sentences at least, or a small paragraph of what I think the market's going to be doing, okay? So you just drop your email in this emails only channel. I pick it up, you get onto the email list. All right, there's fixed income in here as well. Occasionally I do that. I do occasionally buy corporate bonds, and I might talk about that in there sometimes. And there's some other channels in here, you know, the member chat, the S&P 500, just kind of just general chat that's going on among members. Okay. When you come into the server for the first time, all these channels here, you're not going to be able to get into any of them. The only one you can get into is the general one. Once you pay and become a member, then you get access to all these. Okay, that's how it works. So if you have any questions, you know, just put it in the general channel, and I'll try to get the questions. Okay, that's pretty much how it works, guys. Super simple service, very inexpensive. You get a lot of service for the $7.99. Okay, all right, that's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.